Hi, so I'm having trouble using the big blue button, so I'm going to try to record this just in the iMovie thing. Um, so the video films were really good illustrations of what to do and what not to do when using translators. Even though the videos were old, the points were timeless. So we had, I think the most exemplary, the best one was the one with the Puerto Rican mother with the asthmatic baby, and she was concerned. The baby was wheezing, and the physician really gave the translator permission to go below the surface. In fact, he says something like, I think I wrote it down, what I do with it. He says something like, let me know everything, keep me posted. And so halfway into the translation, the translator says, well, tell me, why are you so worried then? And this translator is able to build rapport because of cultural alignment, I guess you might call it, cultural awareness that the physician is unable to do. So translation, in this case, is much more than just knowing the meaning of words, but it's going beneath the surface and having some awareness of the concerns that this mother might have. So I have a picture here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's showing how this is the triadic interviewing they talk about, where we have the provider and the interpreter and the patient in this triad, and we have nonverbal and verbal communication going both ways between each member of this team. And that's really what was going on in the first example, which was the example of how you should do things. The second one, the physician was really dismissive, especially after he learns that this pain has been going on in this patient for over 3 months, and so he figures this is nothing serious. This is musculoskeletal, and he, at that point, kind of really hastens to get the patient out of his office. I looked up the, what was that phrase? They used nocturnal death syndrome, which I guess was prevalent in the 1970s when Vietnamese refugees were streaming into the U.S. and they link it to the high stress these individuals were experiencing. So that physician really missed out on an opportunity to go deeper and not just use the the easy the easy explanations, but to look deeper for emotional context. The case with the Chinese patient, Mr. Cheng, using his great nephew as interpreter, that was kind of a classic example of why you shouldn't use a family member to interpret, because the nephew was really summarizing and dismissing quite a bit of what was being said, perhaps a little bit embarrassed about his great uncle's old world ways, using the folk remedies, etc. And then the last example was pretty good. A little dry, but they were asking a lot of open-ended questions, etc. My own experience with translation is through the Kaiser system, most recently with our video. So we use live translators too, but the video system we have enables you to launch an application, and between 8 a.m., I think it is, and 10 p.m., you can choose one of 12 language groups and quite quickly get a translator on the screen who is able to communicate with the patients in a way that seems to really usually work quite well, especially if, as in the first video, you say some things to the translator to let them know that you really want kind of the backstory here. So that's it. I hope this works this time. Thank you very much. They're not working. It's not working.
You want me to try to help you?
Well, this one application is just hanging.
You can try it on your iPad.
I didn't think about that. But I used to be able to get the Camtasia to work. So I'm sort of confused about what is going